So welcome to my channel. I just noticed that I'm wearing no makeup, and this is the second video I do and I have no makeup on. It's ridiculous. So welcome to my channel again. We're in my room. I tidied up a little bit so you guys can see, but I know I missed a couple things. I didn't know what I was going to talk about in this video, but I did post on my intro that I was going to record an autism or autistic blog or journey or whatever you want to call it. Disregard the big old hole in my door. That was not me. Even though I can punch that hard, but no, that wasn't me. But yeah, so I am going to talk about it. I didn't think I was going to do it, but I think, at least for a lot of people, it's an eye-opening to what it is, and my journey with my son has been till now, and it's been a long one. So, yeah. So before I start talking about it, I am gonna post another video up, if not by Friday, by Sunday, just because I want to kind of do like a weekly thing, a weekly thing, talk about the week, and or if it's like a certain topic you guys want me to talk about, then you guys let me know and I'll talk about it. So my son got diagnosed at 2.5. So in January, he was almost 2.5. Julian is a big, for my followers that know me and don't know me, my son's a very big baby. I'm like, I don't know if you guys see that big old picture of that. Oh, right there, well, you can't even tell, but my son is a very big baby, and yes, I still call him a baby. He'll be my baby till I'm dying in my deathbed, and he's like 40. He will always be my baby no matter what. So, oh, by the way, if you guys hear, Alyssa is in the room with me. She's actually very asleep. So if you guys hear her cry, sorry. But she's been asleep for a little bit, so I'm pretty sure she'll be still sleeping by the end of this recording. But yeah, my son got pre-diagnosed by his pediatrician at 2.5. We were going to his vaccines because they were late. I was fighting with Medical for about a year, so he had not seen a doctor for about a year. So me and his dad took him, and my mom kept reminding me. She's like, "You need to ask the doctor what's wrong with Julian. He's not talking. He's about to be 3, and he's not talking." And I was like, okay. It was January 19th of this year. Reason why, and I make this a joke, very much a joke, for the reason why that is Julian's dad's birthday, and that day I told him, you'd rather spend your birthday at the doctor's with me and Julian than go celebrate. He's like, my son needs me, and I'd rather be here with my son, and didn't do anything. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna go home and sleep. So I'm like, touche. So we took him for his shots, and I told the pediatrician, what concerns me. And I'm like, well, he's not talking. And she looked at me and she's like, what do you mean he's not talking? I was like, yeah, he's not talking. He just says 1 or 2 words. I mean, the max in his vocab at that point, he had at least 5 to 6 words. Um, Kids his age could not, are able to put one, two, and two together, 2 words together, and make a compound word. And or yeah, give me, I want, stuff like that. They put the words into sentences. Julian couldn't do that. He didn't have enough um, words in his vocabulary to make a sentence. So, she, so she started checking them, and she's like, he's not potty trained because he does not like being potty. I'm like, he doesn't like going on the toilet. I was like, I think he was still using diapers at that point. Right after, or I was already starting to transition him to what is pull-ups, and which is what he is using now. But he, so he was using diapers, and he wasn't communicating. He wouldn't really point. And I told him, I don't know what it is. They say it's a lot of things, but I think it's autism. I was like, I'm like, he doesn't have no behavior. It's just more his speech delay, and what now is called his sensory. Um, Julian does not like loud noises, and he's done that since he was a baby. He doesn't like loud noises. He covers his ears. If he sees something at TV and he doesn't like it, he'll cover his ears, like hum himself. Like he's like, oh, like he'll talk, like put it this way, like since he can't talk or say words, instead of like calming himself down with words, he hums it, or he goes for the reason why he doesn't want to hear it. He could see it, and it's so weird, but he'll rather see it than hear it. So that's one thing. Julian doesn't like getting a haircut. And I know a lot of people are probably gonna say, "Oh, well, my kid doesn't." No, Julian throws the biggest fit in his life. We have to hold him down for him to get a haircut. He doesn't like getting his nails cut. It's always a struggle to do it. Um, yeah, it's hard. So that day, so we told all that to the pediatrician, and his pediatrician referred us to the South Regional Center, here in LA. And so she's like, give him a call, tell him that he needs to get evaluated, and he better get evaluated fast. See, the program program ends at 3, and Julian's about 2.5. So they need to get to it. So when she said that, I called when we literally got home, and I called, and then I left them voicemails, and I did that I think for like a couple days. 2 weeks after, they called me and they're like, oh, or a week after, they told me, we want to schedule initial evaluation for the regional center. So I was like, okay, and they told me it was I'm pretty sure it was the 31st of January. So I was like, okay. I went alone. At that time, I was still pregnant with my daughter, so I only had one to worry about. I went alone, which is now it's kind of like it's hard because they ask you a million questions. They ask you your family tree. They ask you what diseases or what you have in your family. And for me, it was kind of hard because I had to not just mention my family, but Julian's dad's family, and I do know a lot of them, a lot of their family conditions and stuff like that. Um, but I had to kind of like remember and um, stuff like that. For people that don't know, autism is not genetic. Okay, um, there's been controversy about autism being done because of shots. Um, I don't believe that in any way, shape, or form. I think it's very ridiculous. Um, I mean, unless it's proven, it's not proven. It's a speculation. It's an opinion that a lot of people want to make it happen to be that that's what autism can come to. Sorry if you guys see me in my phone. I wanted to come out with something, but it's ridiculous at that point. A lot of people, a lot of my family, first was like, no, Julian's not autistic. He's just lazy. I heard a lot of lazy. Um, I don't know. It's not called worse, but I think you don't want to hear that. Oh, your son's just lazy. Um, Boys are lazier. I get it to a certain extent. As a mom, you don't want to hear that. You want to hear what actually really is going on with your kids, And with Julian, I really, really, really wanted to know what was going on with my son. Because it wasn't lazy. I was like, he's about to be 3. He started walking at 14 and a half months. Started crawling at like 7, 8 months. I'm like, I don't know what to make of it. So for you guys, let me tell you what autism is. Well, a lot of people don't really know what autism is. A lot of people can tell you that. And the reason why I say autism is not genetic, for the reason why Julian's dad's cousin kids have autism. I think one of them is confirmed to have autism. So it's like, let me say it in Spanish. El primo hermano del papá de Julián tiene el prima hermana. So it's, let me say this. I'm kind of like putting it in words. Julian's grandpa, and which is Mario's cousin, is their brothers. So the daughter of the uncle, which is the grandfather of the baby. Like, he's not a baby. He's like 6. Has autism, and I think it's on the spectrum. And I don't know. I don't remember how severe it is. I heard it is very severe. It's not like Julian's. Julian's is very it's very mild. It's not something you have to 100% worry about at all. But it's something to take consideration. Well, I'm trying to see a lot of people. Well, there's 2 definitions of autism. I'm pretty sure reading it's the same thing. Okay, so autism or autism spectrum disorder refers to the range of conditions characterizing by challenges with social skills, repetitive behavior, speech, and nonverbal communication, as well as by unique strengths and differences. So Julian has, he is on the spectrum. So Julian has more, which I said, it's the speech delay. Julian can't communicate like a normal 2.5-year-old, or at this point almost 3. So it's something, yeah. And besides that, Julian's a very repetitive person. He can be repetitive. He likes to be on the floor, cold floor. I have tile. I have marble floors. Also, I have rugs, but he doesn't like to be on the floor where the rug's at. He likes to be on the tile or on the marble. He just gets his cars and he just pushes his cars back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for a while. He does not stop. He loves doing that. That's his pastime. That is his pastime. Um, so he is repetitive. Now he's spinning for a very long time, and he just spins and spins and spins. He gets dizzy, but he just spins. Um, now that he's learning words, and sort of knows how to use them. Um, Any time I get him in trouble, or I get his attention. Oh, he knows he's doing something wrong, and I'm like, Julian, no, don't be in the kitchen. Oh, why? Why? And I'm like, and you with the kid, you have like, you don't have to fight with them, but it's the funny part that you fight with them, and you're like, it's because, and you give them explanation. So I have to do that on an everyday basis now. So it's funny because Julian, I go, because I said so. Like, in the done deal, I'm like, Julian, because I say so. And he's like, and he shuts up. And it's funny. It really is. Um, so nobody knows where autism comes from. Um, and it's hard. It's hard because you want to know where it comes from to not make it to make it easier on you and know that it wasn't your fault, because you, as a parent, you kind of do blame it. You blame it. Even though I had the most easiest, I mean, comparing Julian with my daughter Alyssa, my pregnancy, and even um my delivery and Julian, it's so completely different. Um, Julian, it was easy. Seriously, it was easy. Even though I felt like my labor with Julian was so close together, and I have a time frame, and I can tell you, oh, I did 27 hours with Julian in labor. I got induced. I got a epidural. I had him. Healthy baby boy. Alyssa is more like, I had. I started Monday with contractions, and they weren't going away. I got on harder on Wednesday. They still didn't admit me, so I went to San Francisco, and I got admitted, and it still took forever for Alyssa to come out. I got induced at 7 a.m. and Alyssa popped at 2:30, almost 3. Stuff like that. It's just like, seriously. Um, but it's something that I wanted to know if it was my fault, because you as a parent you don't want to feel like it's your fault. You blame yourself because you don't want your kids to go through what they're going through. Like, every time I see Julian and it gets hard for him to even talk or communicate with me, I wish I can take that away. I really do wish. But then for the reason why that he can't communicate, just that he has such a hardship to do it. Even now, as he's progressing and he's understanding and he can actually say words, I think it has made it easier for us, and he's making it easier for him now, and he's getting used to it. But it sucks. It sucks that there's days and there's times that it really does suck. But then again, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it because that just makes him so much special, so much unique and different. And you know what? Um, it wasn't. It was meant to be, and Something his dad told me when they did confirm his disorder or autism, um, his diagnostic. Uh, it was his dad told me, he's like, we're not normal. You gave birth to us, to something you created. If we're not normal, what do you think you were gonna get a normal human being as a child? You know, you were gonna get a pure, different, unique child, and you know what? He's still loved. And you know what? That's where I thought about it, and I was like, my kid, no matter what it is, and what it is, his condition is, he's still gonna be loved, and he's still gonna be cared for, and we're always gonna be there for him. Like, it doesn't change anything. He's still our kid. And my mom, my mom is very religious, and she is Christian. So she told me, I'm gonna pray that that's not what it is, what he has. And I'm like, don't pray for that. Don't pray for that. Pray that he's gonna still have health. Pray that he's gonna be smart out of it. Pray that he's gonna keep fighting, and he's not gonna let little things bug him. Pray for that. Don't pray for him not having this disorder. Don't pray for having this. Don't pray that he shouldn't. Pray for the good things out of it. Pray that he still sticks to be your little boy, because in the end of the day, he's still our little boy. So we all kind of like took a breath on it, and so yeah, Julian right now is getting speech therapy 2 times a week for an hour at home, because the school that he's going to right now does have it. It has a speech therapist. It's only 1 day out of the week, and it does interfere with Julian's school schedule, so they wouldn't have allowed it. So I decided to do it at home. So Julian, it was faster. It was faster the process, and it was easier on us, and he could be at home, and we can deal with it here. And he goes to a special school for speech and language in Downey. We do drive him. His dad takes him Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I pick him up Tuesday, Thursday, and I take him Friday. All day Friday, I pick him up and take him. So our schedules are kind of full. So he goes 3 days for 3 hours to school. Yeah. So he does that. And since he started school, I think we've seen the progress. We've seen him talk more therapy also. He has worked, and he is working and continually working to do the best he can, and I can see it straight out of him. He makes the best of it, and I think it's something I admire, and something I'm so proud of, that Julian has come such a long way from where he's at, and where he started from, which was nothing. Now from, let's say, 5 vocabulary words he had, he's gone up to 10 to 15, maybe 20 words at this point. And he's still learning, and he's still using them, and he can repeat after you, and listening always has sucked when it comes to him, but he's getting there. He's understanding, and I'm proud of my baby. Proud of him. It hasn't been the easiest. We've done evaluations. We have meetings. We just finished our IEP meeting. Julian's getting transferred to the district in August. So his birthday is on the 17th of August. Julian's district starts school on the 15th. So Julian's still gonna go to school for 2 days from his old school, or this school that he's going to, the speech and language in Downey. On his birthday, on his 3rd birthday, he starts the new school, which is closer here to the house. and it's easier for us to take him or not. I'll pick him up where he's closer to us. But you're gonna pick him up from a bus and everything. So they broke it down to us and what all these things that Julian needs and all these things he's gonna have and all these things he's gonna be getting. And the district has him under special education. He's a special ed child. We're hoping by the time he gets to at least kindergarten, first grade, he is out of that title, and he can be in a normal classroom with normal kids, and nobody won't ever need to know that. Because my biggest fear as a parent and as a mom, and a mom that got bullied a lot, is that he's gonna get bullied. And everybody tells me, you don't have to worry about that. That's in the future. You don't have to. And I was like, yeah, I do. That's still my kid. And I know how it feels to get bullied. And I don't want that for my kids. I don't want to and especially get bullied because you're a special education child. I don't want that for my kid. I don't. I was like, you look normal, but you can't talk, And I want my son to be able to talk and speak and communicate and be able to talk to us, and talk to whoever he needs to talk to, and be able to be in a regular classroom environment, and that's our goal. That's our goal, to get him out of there. So we're all working for that. And I always blame myself. I do, and I said that I do blame myself. And because I started school 2 weeks after I had Julian, and I wasn't home a lot because I was at school. My mom raised Julian, and is still raising Julian. Practically, I started working right after Julian turned 1. I was working nights, so I would go to school, go to work. I had graveyard shift at work. From school, I would go to work. I was seeing Julian in the morning, and I still had classes in the morning, and I would still go and stuff like that. It was hard, and Julian didn't get to see me. I mean, he would see me. He'd see me for a little bit. I would play with him and stuff. The only thing I was doing, I was knocking out because I was so tired. And I'm so sorry. I didn't think I was gonna cry. I didn't think that it was gonna affect my son, and I wasn't there for him. I would sit and read him a book, and I would fall asleep. And he would be knocked out right next to me. And I would just get up and put him to bed and walk back into my bed and go to sleep. And sometimes I wouldn't even be able to do that because he wasn't. I was too tired, and I'd rather sleep than do 20 minutes or half an hour of him time because I was too tired. In some way, I neglected Julian a lot, and it sucked. It sucks, and I regret it. I regret it a lot. I regret it because I wish I shouldn't. I didn't have to do that, but in the tough circumstances that we had to stand at a moment, I had to do what I had to do, and I went to work, and I had to go to school, and I'd rather do that, and I had no choice. I had no choice to be home with my son. I was home with my son for a year after his birth. A year. His first year, I was at home I just went to school and came home. That's all I did. His first year. After his first year, I didn't. I was working and going to school, um, and it sucked because I didn't have that option anymore. Um, Julian's dad was the provider, and when we separated, I didn't have anything, and so I had to go to work, and try to figure it out, and have to work. I mean, my job wasn't that bad. I was a security guard up to I got pregnant with Alyssa, and it was I liked my job. I knew what I was doing. It was funny. The bad thing, I was in graveyard, so I was always tired and I was always sleepy. Um, it sucked, but it took more because I sacrificed my son. And I don't know if that neglect that I did with Julie came from it. Because the autism, because all of us have all these things. We all have cancer. We all have diabetes. We all have cholesterol. We all have high blood pressure. We all have that. We develop the way we are, the way we eat, the way our lifestyle. That's how we develop these certain things. And for Julian, I feel like I developed it for him. I sparked the plug, and he has it. And even though nobody knows where it comes from, I feel like I did it, and I hurt myself for it. It kills me mentally. Mentally it hurts you. It takes a toll on you, and I don't want my son to go through that. Julian, it's for being autistic. Julian's such a smart baby, such a smart baby. When he wants to, and he puts his mind to it, he'll do it. And that's what I love about him. I love that he is exactly like that. But I feel like I did that to him. And I'm wishing and I'm hoping I don't have to do that with my daughter. And sadly, circumstances make you do certain things like that. You sacrifice your kids because you have to put a roof over the table. You have to put food in their bellies. You have to clothe them. You need you sacrifice your time to benefit your kids in what the necessities are. But sometimes the necessities is them needing you being at home, educating them, showing them certain things, showing them all this stuff. And it sucks. It really, really sucks. And I think I am a hard parent. I think because I had to pull both roles. I pulled mom and dad role at home every day. I pull those roles. I am Julian's mom and dad. When dad's not here, and it's always been like that, I pull both roles. I am the discipliner, but then I'm also the one who kisses your boo-boos, That's who I am. I'm hard on my kid, but he's like my best friend. He's there for me. He takes care of me when I'm sick. He kisses me, and he hugs me, and he just holds me sometimes. He just holds me. I can be in bed with him, and I snuggle right next to him, and he just taps me, and he grabs my head, and he he tries. It's not a headlock. It's a hug. And it feels a headlock, but it's not a headlock. It's a hug. It's a hug. And he kisses me, and I'm and I tell him, I love you, right? He just looks at me. He doesn't know how to say I love you back. Sometimes he knows when I say I love you, and he'll kiss me back, and he'll kiss me. Like, okay, I get it, Mom. I love you too. And sometimes he just looks at me. And I look at his eyes, and my son has some big old eyes. Big. is my eyes, and I just stare in his eyes, and I'm like, I used to do this when you were a baby. I wouldn't sleep just to see you, just to when your eyes were open, or just watch you sleep. That was all I did. His dad would always talk shit to me and say, "Hey, you're fucking always tired. Why are you tired? You can sleep. Julian sleeps all day." I give him an excuse. I do homework and stuff. It wasn't that. I'd be watching my baby sleep as peacefully as it was. I would just let him sleep and I would see it. But listen, I do it too. There's times I just sit there and just look at her sleep. I look at her and I admire them. And instead of me knocking down and being asleep, taking that free time to be asleep, I don't. Because my kids are, it's peaceful. It's a peaceful thing, and I think to any mother would know that. They would know how peaceful that is. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is at that part. I mean, I don't know what else to say apart from that, and I'm literally tearing up. I wouldn't change Julian for nothing in the world. I wouldn't. I love him so much. Different, the unique, the hard-headed, the very funny guy, always smiling. You always catch my son smiling. You always do. And I love it. And I think, that's the most important thing. Even though I have my daughter, and it's always something I always wanted. I wanted my little girl. But having Julian first made me open my eyes to a lot of things. And I love my son. I love him. He's the one who calls me mom, and he's, freaking giving me headaches from left to right. But I know if I need a hug from someone, he'll give it to me. I just ask him for a hug, and or a kiss, and he'll kiss me, and he'll hug me. Because that's how we are. That's my road dog. That's my son. He goes usually everywhere with me. If not, it's with my mom. But he's my best friend. He's my mini me. He might look like his dad, but he's a lot like me. A lot. His personality is a lot like me, and I love it. And I couldn't ask God for a better, different, unique person than him. A unique son like him. I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. And yeah, and that's my feelings towards it. Any questions or any comments or how the process goes, leave me a comment, like my video. For anybody that knows a special child, an autistic child, don't make fun of them, don't stare at them. They're normal. Just, they have certain things that make them that different. But talk to them. The parents, talk to them. Because it's a strong thing. It's a lot to take in. And a lot of parents, I can say from my experience, you need a lot of support when it comes to that. And befriend them. So, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for subscribing, liking my video, watching my videos, and see you on the next.